Welcome to Invert Aim, gaming news done differently. I'm Feisty Cuffs, this is Brennan, and this is Ryan. What's been cracking, guys?
Sadly, chicken dinner gate is still a thing.
4 weeks in a row.
Hashtag stay hungry.
4 weeks.
Living that lifestyle to a T. A few more second places. But I want to also mention I've watched a couple of movies this week. I know not typically gaming-related talk, but went and watched Mother with an exclamation point. Very weird.
Very weird.
2.5 hours worth of very heavy-handed messaging and religious undertones and looking after Mother Earth and all this. It was an experience, to say the least. And I also went and watched Flatliners. So it's a remake of the, I think it was early 90s, the original. I like that Kiefer Sutherland came back and played a role in this, unrelated to his original character, but both movies are kind of shit.
Ooh, what about you, man?
Same. I've seen both the movies. Flatliners was pretty rough. I didn't really dig it too much. It was, I don't know. It didn't really just do anything for me. The ending was like, I won't talk about it at all, but it was just, the ending was just okay. And then Mother, I thought was okay. Again, the ending was very, very weird to me. I don't think I really got the end of it. I was just like, okay, right at the very end, which if you see the movie, it'll make sense.
Yeah, it was like 2 acts went like this, and then the final act just goes, "Wah!"
Yeah, and then the end just goes, again. And I was like, okay.
What about you, Miss? What have you been doing?
I've been playing board games, just mixing it up. Yep, so I'm on a Rick and Morty hype, just mourning the loss of the seasons. Season 4 being over? No, season 3.
Season 3.
Season 3 is over.
Say, how did you get access to the 4th season?
I wish I was just in Dave Harmon's mind and was just like, and I said Dave Harmon instead of Dan Harmon.
No, it's because you guys are that close and you've got that 4th season. You call him Dave.
So. I heard that.
Davey H.
Yeah, no, Dan.
H-E.
Said it wrong. That's all right. But yeah, I've been playing Total Recall, which is a deck building game. Okay. Well, no, it's not really a deck building game actually. It's kind of like what is it? The werewolves versus.
Is it vampires?
Yeah. So that's a lot of fun. That's great fun to betray your friends.
Secretly hoping you were going to sort of try and weave in categories there because that game is my jam. I'll kick everyone's ass at categories.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today is games media actually being pretty shit at games themselves. Before we dive any deeper, I'd like to show you a couple of little quick clips here of some Polygon as well as Games Blast PC staff attempting to play Doom and Cuphead. So let's check it out. Okay, so that first one, the Doom sort of trailer there with the hands-on footage, was the first look prior to Doom's release, dropped on the Polygon website, and as you could see, there was some pretty average aiming and some few fail attempts. And the other one, which I think was even more hilarious, was poor Dean Takahashi, who was actually the lead writer from GamesBeat PC, struggling to even get through the tutorial of Cuphead. So that's not even end game, that's not mid game, that is tutorial. And apparently pressing 2 buttons in quick succession is too hard for one of the heads of a gaming sort of media outlet. What do you think about this? Where do you think that sort of lessens the opinions of sort of games writers, people within the media? Do you think it is a requirement that they have to be good at gaming, or do you think it's more so on their ability to critique?
I think they at least need to be able to pass a freaking tutorial. Right? Like, I think if you're going to review a game, how the hell can you review a game if you can't even play it? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, how are you able to do that in any way, shape, or form? Like, he literally couldn't jump off a block, jump up, and dash at the same time.
You know, pressing A then Y hard. Is very hard.
Oh,
that's 2 buttons.
Get out of here. It's ridiculous. Like, what? And the dude playing Doom, like, I don't mean to be a dick, but how is he going to review the game? He can't pass a level. How's he going to review it?
I'll be honest, that looks like a game footage of me trying to play Doom.
But you don't review games for a living. It's not your job, you know what I mean? Like, it's his literal job to review games and to write reviews about games, which it directly affects sales of the game for the most part, right? If they write for a big company. When you've got someone like that struggling to play Cuphead, he might say, this game looks okay. What, for the half the level that you saw? Because you couldn't pass it?
Yeah, so that video, the Games Blast PC video with Dean Takahashi playing, we only saw like 20 seconds of that clip. That's actually a 26-minute video. So look at that 20 seconds,
Painful.
times that by a large amount, and it is very, very painful on the eyes and on the heart because it's a fantastic game.
I didn't know you get a bonus for crouching when you shoot.
He's so
Too
bad.
real.
And I'm completely with you on this one, Ryan. Like, these guys have such an amount of power when it comes to the success or failure of a game. Like, a lot of people aren't going to go out and blindly purchase a game on day one. They like to see the IGNs, the Polygon. Like, Polygon's one of the biggest media outlets in the world. And seeing that that sort of nameless person struggle with Doom to that degree, you know, general punters might see that and go, "Ooh, that game looks a bit hard. The aiming's pretty difficult. I might not pick it up." So, but you know, id Software could have suffered loss of sales from this, loss of income. You know, people could have got laid off. Like, it's.
I don't know. Like, so for me, when I look at games reviews, I definitely follow certain review people, like rather than just blanket read. You know, whatever's out there. I do value certain people's opinions, making sure that their values and their tastes are kind of in line with mine, because then I know, you know, that I'm going to trust their opinion at the end of the day. So, you know, the Dooms guy, like, I hope that's his schmick, you know, like, because to me, I'd be like, oh, that's going to be my gaming experience in Doom. Hells yeah, if you had fun, maybe I'll have fun too. Cuphead, on the other hand, like, he's the head writer or one of the lead writers.
He's the lead writer.
Yeah.
And it's funny because they apparently tried to post this video as a joke. That's the angle they went with it. Like, oh, this is just funny to show how difficult the game is. Like, no, mate, Dean, you're shit at games.
Yeah.
Own up to it. Take some ownership of this.
There was nothing hard about the tutorial. When it says dash above the pillar that you need to jump over, right? And then you try and jump over it, when it has text above it that says dash, that would imply that at some point you need to dash. You know what he didn't do? Frickin' dash for like frickin' 2.5 minutes.
Well, he did on the ground.
How is he a head writer? I'm not trying to be a dick and personally attack the dude, but you have to be able to play games. Like, if you're going to write reviews about a game, you have to be able to play them. I'm a mid-tier player at best at most games that I play, but I can pretty much turn on any game and play it decently, right? And that's my thing, right? For streaming, I'm not a pro gamer, I'm not anything, but I can play most games average.
You can
know
finish
what I
a
mean?
tutorial, is what you're saying.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I can finish a tutorial. And I don't review games. I don't. It's like, I'll play some games on stream, but I'm like, I tell people all the time, this is just my opinion of it. The way that you play might be completely different. But these guys literally write reviews on games and they can't even pass the tutorial. I don't know.
It's a hard medium to sort of be good at. Like, I've written a few reviews, I've done video reviews of games over the years, and it is hard to shape an opinion in the way that can be conveyed to the masses or to a grander audience. So I can understand maybe if they've got sort of more so wordsmiths, you know, that are good at writing and exaggerating things that they do within the gaming space. But if they're also tasked to play the game, then that's bullshit. But I could understand maybe if they had, say, maybe they were ghostwriting it for him. Maybe they had someone playing the game and they're sort of just doing a real-life commentary through it. Oh, mod, this is great, this is hard. And then they're turning that into some nice wordsmithery, you know? But, yeah, if people like this are out there, not only on a salary, but then providing opinions to gamers, and yet they can't play the game. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. So
It's got to be part of your brand package that you're terrible. Like, that's the only way it's okay for me, because, as I said, that's just watching myself play. So to me, that's not as offensive. But if I was, you know, if you're pegged as a high-level gamer, you're not really offering a high-level opinion. So
yeah, I agree. And the fact that they've sort of come out and tried to then make that Cuphead video as almost like a parody fun time video, it's like, just take some ownership of it. Like,
Get out of here. You know what you did.
yeah,
You suck.
it's doing nothing for your brand if you're trying to turn around and go, haha, joke's on you, fellas. Like, you bought into all this clickbait. It's like, nah, Dean Takahashi, you're just shit.
Hashtag Dean Takahashi is shit.
So Overwatch is back again with their Halloween special. They've had a few of these. Guys, seasonal gaming events, is it a thing of the past? Are we still into it, or blatant cash grab?
It is a thing of the present and a thing of the future, I think. Blizzard smashed this out time and time again. You know, they've done 5 seasonal events so far. Obviously, they've got Halloween, they've got sort of the Christmas vibe. They did the Chinese Lunar New Year as well as a couple others. It's great. Like, obviously, it doesn't give you any playing benefits apart from the aesthetics. You're not getting any sort of XP hacks or mods or anything like that. It's strictly aesthetic. The skins are always fantastic. I always pony up some money for it because I'm a sucker.
This ain't no Pop-Tarts.
No, this certainly ain't no Destiny 2 melodrama. But
It's not a
I love
blatant
it.
promo, yeah.
I love it.
I'm the same as you. I don't even play Overwatch that much. Love the game, but I will try and buy all those skins and try and unlock them all. At least the ones that I like. No one plays the girl, the Symmetra. No,
Symmetra.
I do. I like Symmetra.
I don't like her
She's
skin.
a microwave.
Microwave.
Yeah,
There
she
you go.
makes a little microwave with a little thing. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay. But no, I like it. I think that it's, you look at games in general, Crossfire is the game that generates out of pretty much any game in the entire world. Crossfire is pretty much a piss take of Counter-Strike, but a Chinese version. Game is absolutely scuffed. But they make the most revenue in the world
From skins.
for online games. They average $1 billion revenue every single year. It's a Chinese-based company owned by Tencent. And they average $1 billion just because you can buy skins. In Crossfire, there's a lot more pay-to-win aspect. So the guns that you can unlock through cases and stuff like that you can buy, they actually are like stronger than normal ones. So Blizzard and a lot of other companies, the more sort of Western market, they don't do this sort of pay-to-win stuff as much because in the Western market, it's seen as like a very daunting thing to do, and they don't like it because the communities react really, really badly. In the sort of Asian-based MMO markets, especially with games like Blade and Soul online, you can pay about $5,000 and you can get all the best gear in the game, and it's not seen as like a bad thing. It's more of like a showing face type thing where it's like, having the
Social
newest
status thing. You
Exactly
reckon?
right. So
Have you got it with that Twitch money?
I was about to ask.
No, I don't have it. You got it with that 8-bit money?
I can't even afford the game on the 8-bit money.
But that's sort of the thing, right? That's the huge difference of when I've done events in Asia and when I've done events in the US, right? We get these sort of events like this and they're great. We all buy the skins and we all do that sort of thing, but you never get this sort of pay-to-win aspect. In a lot of the Asian-based places, it's very much about showing face. It's very much about like, this guy can afford to spend $10,000 on his character. Here's a VIP unlock level that's going to cost you $15,000 US. You know what I mean?
Christ.
Cash.
And people just unlock
For
it so
some
they get
skins.
like a title or they get something, right?
Yeah.
And it happens time and
Is
time
the
again.
title Head Wanker?
I'm not too sure. It could be. I'll have to
It's
double
head
check.
money bags,
Yeah,
I
we might need
think,
to vet that.
technically. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Dude, I am so on board, especially with a company like Blizzard. I think they do it so well. Every time they do an event like this, the seasonal events, it's definitely about world building. It's not so much about a cash grab or needing to generate new interest. I think they've got the interest. They're just giving people more of what they want, which is the stories that you don't get in an FPS.
Blizzard are smart anyway. If they were any smarter, they'd just drop every game that they own now that they own Candy Crush and put all their money there. That's where they're going to get the most money.
Hashtag your
Candy
business
Crush.
advisor.
They bought it for $5 billion. It's a lot of money.
Will they do a seasonal event on Candy Crush?
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it. That's pretty much the only way they're going to get anyone to play Candy Crush that I know, is to put like skins in there for Overwatch or more skins in Heroes of the Storm, because we all know that we love that game.
It's a great game.
Look, it is a good game, but how many games do you play of Heroes of the Storm when there's not an incentive?
None.
Yeah.
Like, I love the game as well. We've talked about it plenty of times. I think the art and the graphics in the game are great. Again, another game that's released loot boxes where you can get skins and stuff like that. I love the idea behind it. I bought a few of them, and I barely even play Heroes of the Storm. But, it's just, I love this. I love the sneaky little things that don't give you an in-game benefit. I love it.
Purely cosmetic. It's fun. It's harmless.
Yeah, so
like it.
Halloween Terror comes at us again from October the 10th. So at time of this episode releasing, it should potentially be out or close to. I don't know what day it is right now, so I know we're close to
How many
there.
boxes are you going to open?
I'll probably buy a 20-pack.
20?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I usually buy PC and Xbox, so I usually get probably 20 on
Gotta split it.
You don't think the $50 bundle's better?
each. The 50,
50 is 100 boxes?
Yeah, but he can't split it across his two accounts.
yeah, which is something I hope Blizzard change. I want those skins to carry because I've got it on PlayStation, I've got it on Xbox, and I've got it on PC.
So you've got 3 different accounts.
Yep.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah, so, yeah, Halloween Terror, Junkenstein's Revenge is back.
So excited.
So we've got that horde mode again, where you are fighting not only a slew of enemy characters, whether they be just random creeps, but also then fighting Evil Reaper and all these other bad characters, which was great. It was a good little change up from that standard Overwatch meta. I had a fun time playing that. I only played probably 5 or 6 rounds of it, but it was really good. Nice.
Do you guys
break.
want to play some?
Yeah,
Sure.
man.
We should play some.
That'd be awesome. I just want to have Witch Mercy be like, my servants never die. That's like the best thing to ever come out of that event.
All right, last one for the day is very anticipated. I'm sure a lot of people are enjoying this right now, is Cuphead. This guy back there. But this game dropped last week, it would have been. And yeah, absolutely phenomenal. Extremely hard game. Quite a cheap game. I think you're looking at spending about
US $19.99 or $30 on the Australian store for at least on Xbox and Windows 10.
Definitely worth the money. I watched just before we filming today, I watched a speedrunner do it in 33 minutes. If you can beat that time, I will give you $50. One person.
You cheap bastard.
What? I don't have a lot of money.
Hashtag take Chinglish's money.
Yeah.
Tweet to us at Invert Aim if you can beat
The first person to
it.
beat it, I will PayPal you $50. That game is redonkulously hard. I've been watching a lot of streamers playing it. I've been watching a lot of streamers stay on the same boss for 3 hours. It's quite entertaining. And these are good players. Like, these are people that are good streamers, pro players at their respective games, and they are having a hard time. Definitely passed the tutorial, though.
Ha!
Takayashi.
Sweet
Dean
callback.
Takahashi. You're still shit. So, Cuphead, it was in development hell for a while. This was announced at E3, I think, 3, maybe 4 years ago. Initially, it was like no more than a 7-second video in sort of a little indie showcase on the Xbox presentation. So there's been hype and build and anticipation for this game for a long time. It took a long while to get out, and they've rebuilt the game and actually put levels in it. It used to be, originally it was just going to be boss battle after boss battle after boss battle. There was no real sort of levels in between. But they've since fleshed it out, smashed the run and gun style. But as you said, it is hard as hell, but it's so rewarding. Like, everything about this game it's got such a high level of polish, whether it be the character models, you know, it's lending itself heavily to that 1930s sort of vibe, the soundtrack, the animations, it's all hand-drawn. Even just little things like where they sort of grainy up the sort of the game or the graphics themselves. Like, it's phenomenal. Simple control structure, but complex at the same time. As you said, a lot of deaths. I've been dying a lot.
But that's the hallmark of
Lot.
a good game, right? Easy to pick up, hard to master. So
Cuphead, 86% currently at time of writing on Metacritic, 10 out of 10 on the Steam store. So it is getting fantastic reviews. I'd give it somewhere between a 9 and a 10 out of 10. It is scratching that itch of yesteryear where it is that simple yet extremely hard side scroll, run and gun style. And it's so well done. And I'm so happy to see Microsoft have an exclusive that's getting good hype. You know, they get left in the dust by Sony so often with their lack of exclusives, but Cuphead has just come out and just knocked it out of the park. What is it? I think it's Studio MDHR, MDHR. Done a fantastic job.
I think streamers have really helped this game as well a lot. There was a few streamers that roughly had around, say, 25,000 to 30,000 viewers each, and they were streaming the game. And I think when you're looking at that sort of level of people, obviously there was a lot of sponsored streams for the game, I would imagine, like most games that come out. But then I saw a lot of people that I know personally that weren't doing sponsored streams that had 10,000 plus viewers, and they were like, you know, we talked about it on Twitter, and then it's like, man, I just really want to play this game. One thing I really want to point out about Cuphead, though, and I think one thing that deserves a lot more credit, soundtrack. The soundtrack for this game is so well done and so fitting for the levels, and the audio all round in the game is brilliant. So I think that they really hit the nail on the head. You obviously talked about the art and stuff like that of the game, but I think that in general, that the music for this game and the audio in general is really, really good.
well, what I like is it lends itself to the authenticity because all the cells were hand-drawn, the music was, you know, untouched and unprocessed, you know, as much as they can for the game. You know, they really took it back to what the essence of this game is, and I feel it just translates everywhere.
Yeah, everyone involved, you could just see the passion that they had for this game. I think nothing is half-assed, nothing is skimmed over. It's just love in every section of this game. You know, what you guys just said, the soundtrack alone, you can buy the soundtrack on 4, like in a record pack, so you can get 4 old-timey records of the soundtrack. It's about $100 US. You have to sort of drop ship it here to Australia at the moment, but it's well worth investigating. You can get it. It comes in a nice hard wooden box, really nice art style across it all. It's fantastic. I picked it up the other day, so it's on its way to me.
Ooh, but that's what I love. Like, they're so authentic to what their game is, and they're like, we have a vision. We're not compromising it with like plastic packaging. You know, you can get it on a record, not on a CD. You know, it's just really doing it right.
I'd be interested to see what their profit margin's like for this game, for their sort of first quarter, because it has got a lot of hype right now. And I don't want to call it an indie game. Would we call it an indie game?
Yeah, I'd call it an indie game.
Yeah.
Indie game.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see with the price mark at $20 for an indie game is actually quite high, right? So for the most part, most games that drop like this are based between sort of $7 to $12. I would say is pretty fair. Is what you mostly see. So $20 for like an indie game, unless it's like Super Meat Boy or has like this huge name behind it already, is actually quite high. So I'm going to be interested to see, because I think that their numbers are going to be monster in the next sort of 3 to 4 months of how many units they've sold. So I think they're going to be doing quite well.
I hope so. I want to see more. So that's it this week from us at Invert Aim. As usual, hit us up on Twitter to let us know your thoughts about game journos. Should they be able to play the games that they're reviewing? Seasonal loot, yay or nay? And of course, Cuphead. Game of the year, maybe?
Certainly
What
up
do you
there.
think?
Game of the year.
It's certainly going to win some awards. I don't doubt that.
All right, that's it from us, guys. See you next time. Adios.
Much love. Stay hungry.
Ha.